Picture this, a housewarming party meant to be a celebration, suddenly turning into a gut punch. There I was, Lily Carter, 33 years old. Standing in the kitchen of the house I'd poured my entire life savings into, clutching a glass of wine as my mom waved the deed in my face like some twisted trophy. "You're being absurd, Lily," she snapped, her voice cutting through the chatter of guests. "James needs this more than you do. He's got a family to support. What do you have? Just yourself." Her words didn't just sting, they hit like a freight train. My world tilted, and I could barely breathe as the colonial-style home I dreamed of, my reward for a decade of grinding as a nurse, slipped through my fingers. Betrayed by my own family. Who saw that coming? Let me back up. I'm Lily, a nurse at Riverside Hospital, where I've spent the last 10 years pulling double shifts, juggling ICU chaos, and squirreling away every dime. When my parents hit rock bottom, facing foreclosure on their old place, I didn't hesitate. I handed over $175,000, my life savings, to secure a new house. The deal was airtight, my money, my name on the deed. Simple, right? Apparently not for my family. Enter my stepbrother, James, the golden boy from Mom's second marriage to my stepdad, Tom. At 38. James has never lifted a finger for our parents, too busy finding himself, through one flop after another, a car wash, a shady supplement gig, some crypto nonsense. But now, with a wife and a baby on the way, he's suddenly the poster child for deserving my hard-earned investment. "We've already filed the paperwork," Tom announced that night. Avoiding my gaze like a coward. "The house is James's now. You should be proud, helping your brother start his family." His casual dismissal of my sacrifice lit a fire in me I didn't know I had. James stood there, smirking as usual, while I looked around at the party guests, awkward glances, hushed whispers. My Aunt Clara, more of a mom to me than my own, shook her head in disbelief from the corner. My best friend, Sophie, who'd seen me burn out to save that cash, gripped her drink so hard I thought it'd shatter. "This isn't right," I choked out, my voice shaky with rage and heartbreak. That money was everything I had. We had a deal. Mom just sighed, rolling her eyes. "Don't be so dramatic, Lily. You're a nurse, you'll make it back. James needs a stable home for his kid. You've got no one to take care of." That's when something snapped. Years of being the dependable one, the fixer, the one who always gave while they took, it all came crashing down. Looking at their smug, entitled faces, I realized this was only the beginning. They had no clue what I'd do when pushed too far. Growing up, I knew I was the odd one out. After Dad died when I was 6, Mom married Tom within a year, and James stormed into our lives like a tornado, instantly becoming their sun and stars. Me? I was the quiet kid working weekends at the pharmacy to save for college while James got new cars, designer clothes, and endless do-overs. I clawed my way through nursing school, night shifts as a CNA. Student loans I'm still paying off while my parents bailed James out of every mess. 3 times they refinanced their house to fund his failures, and I stayed silent, watching their retirement vanish. 6 months ago, they called me, sobbing about losing their home. I didn't think twice. I offered my savings, the dream of my own little cottage with a garden traded for their security. We hunted for houses together, and I fell hard for the Colonial on Elm Street. The realtor made it happen. I signed the initial papers as the owner. "You're a lifesaver, sweetie," Mom had said, hugging me tight. "We'll figure this out as a family." I wanted to believe her so badly I ignored the red flags. Hushed calls with James, secret lawyer meetings I wasn't invited to. Delays on the final paperwork. Sophie warned me over coffee. "Lily, get it in writing. I don't trust them." I brushed it off. Surely my own parents wouldn't screw me over, right? The day before the party, I'd hit Target, picking out towels, pillows, a home sweet home mat. Little joys for what I thought was my future. Now they mocked me. Scattered around a house stolen out from under me. That night, as James strutted around like he'd earned it, I thought of every missed holiday, every skipped vacation, every night in the ICU that built that $175,000. They didn't just take my money, they took years of my life. As guests trickled out, avoiding my eyes while congratulating James, Sophie slid beside me at the counter. "Call Daniel," she whispered, meaning her brother, a real estate lawyer. "Something's off, they couldn't have done this legally without your signature." Just then, James swaggered by with his wife, Lauren, bragging about gutting my kitchen, knocking down walls. My stomach churned. Then I spotted it, the folder with our original agreement. still atop the fridge where Mom stashed important stuff. While they were distracted, I slipped it into my bag. I need air, I told Sophie, stepping onto the porch. Outside, I rifled through the papers. There it was. My signature, the deal clear as day, house in my name for the down payment. Then a bombshell, a letter from their lawyer 2 weeks old, warning that transferring the deed without me was fraud. My phone buzzed, Mom texting, "Stop sulking, come celebrate James." That was it. I texted Daniel, "Free tomorrow? Need legal help." His reply was instant. Sophie filled me in. 9 a.m. my office. Bring everything. Back inside, Mom and Tom were scheming with James, probably plotting more renovations. They glanced up, annoyed. Done being dramatic? Mom sneered. I forced a smile. Actually, I want to thank you. You've made everything crystal clear. They blinked, confused, expecting tears, not calm. James chuckled as I grabbed my purse. See? She's fine. She'll get over it. I turned back. No, James. I won't. But you'll wish I had. Next morning, Daniel's office felt like a lifeline. He pored over the papers, grinning. Lily, they screwed up big. This transfer's fraudulent. You've got the original deal. Their lawyer's warning everything. We can reverse it. And my buddy at the DA's office would love this, could mean criminal charges. My heart raced. I don't want Mom and Tom in jail, I said, voice cracking. They stole $175,000, grand theft. He shot back. Possible forged signatures, too. They're banking on you being too soft to fight. He was right. They'd always counted on my kindness. My phone buzzed nonstop, Mom's guilt trips. James's rants. What do you want? Daniel asked. My house back, I said, firm. And for them to know they can't walk all over me. He nodded, typing fast. Emergency injunction to freeze the property. Then we'll void the transfer. They'll get papers tomorrow. Leaving his office, I felt lighter. At my ICU shift, my phone blew up. James 7 calls. Mom 12. Texts from furious to frantic. James's last one, what the hell did you do? I smiled, silenced it, and focused on my patients. Let them sweat. By morning, chaos hit. Sophie called. Mom and James were outside my apartment, freaking out. I peeked. Mom banging on the door, James pacing. You're tearing us apart. Mom yelled when I faced them. Funny, I said, steady. You didn't care about that when you stole my savings. James lunged forward, red-faced. I've got a kid coming. What were you gonna do with it? Live alone with cats. I pulled out my phone. Want to see our deal? Or your lawyer's fraud warning? How about the forged signatures? Their faces paled. Mom grabbed my arm. We can fix this as a family, no lawyers. I shook her off. Family ended when you chose James over me. The DA has everything. Reverse the deed, or it gets worse. You'd send me to jail? Mom gasped, tears flowing, her old trick. No, Mom. You might send yourself there. I'm just done being your doormat. James's phone rang. Lauren panicked. Cops were at their place about the deed. They bolted. Sophie hugged me. I've never seen you like that. Badass. I laughed. Never had proof before. Later, Daniel called. Their lawyer wanted to settle. House back in my name, legal fees covered, plus $50,000 damages. Take it, he asked. Yes, I said. But add a signed admission of what they did. No pretending this didn't happen. 2 weeks later, they signed in Daniel's office, Mom sobbing, Tom staring down. James aged overnight. Lauren had left him, his financial lies unraveled. I signed the deed, steady as ever. Happy now? James muttered. You ruined everything. No, I said. You did. I fixed it. Then my twist. I'm selling it. They'd spun tales to relatives about a misunderstanding. Too bad. A developer offered way above market for apartments. They'll lose it when they hear. Sophie grinned over coffee. They thought you'd cave. That's why I'm doing it, I said. No more control. I sold it next day, profit plus settlement, buying my dream cottage, wraparound porch. Garden space. Mom's voicemail begged me to call about the sale. I deleted it. Boundaries, not cruelty. I moved in with Sophie's help, painting it my way, soft hues. No more Mom's loud family decor. Family raged, selfish, they called me. Aunt Clara backed me. They're ashamed, and they should be. Life shifted. James and Mom struggled. He's a store clerk now, separated. I got promoted, charge nurse, better pay, no more guilt shift overload. My cottage bloomed tomatoes, violets, peace. Mom tried dropping by once, fishing for cash. I'm not helping, I said, firm. She left crying. I felt strong. A year on, my garden thrives, my career soars. Nursing supervisor now. New nurses ask how I got so tough. Lost my savings, fought my family, chose me. I tell them. Mom still calls for money. I say no, calm as ever. The photo from that party? I don't hate them anymore, just grateful they forced me to grow. Every bloom, every quiet night screams one truth. I chose myself. And I'd do it again.